Welcome back to Ozarks Tonight. Well, here in the U.S., we have seen an ongoing hepatitis A outbreak since September of 2017. And since April of this year, Greene County has seen an increase in cases as well. So we brought in Catherine Wall from the Springfield-Greene County Health Department to talk a little bit more about this outbreak and the cases we've seen in Southwest Missouri. Catherine, thanks for being here. I believe it's been, 25 cases since April?
Yeah, so that's definitely an increase. We've seen a lot of that increase in the month of September, so that's why we really want to get the word out.
And what exactly is hepatitis A for people that aren't familiar?
So hepatitis A is a illness of the liver, and it's a viral illness that is ingested. So that's traditionally by eating or drinking. And
who is most at risk of catching this disease?
So this is a highly contagious illness that really anyone can catch. But the groups that we are most concerned with are these groups that have emerged as part of that nationwide outbreak. That includes recreational drug users. Something like even sharing a cigarette can be a risk factor. Groups like folks who have been in jail or who work in jails because of that close contact, men who have sex with men, and then the homeless population.
Sure, and a lot of times when you hear about hepatitis A outbreaks, restaurants are brought up as a place where an outbreak could possibly occur. Why is that?
Yeah, that's a group that we really pay a lot of attention to as well, because as I said earlier, it's very easy to transmit, and that's very easy to come from food or drink. So if a restaurant worker has been sick, maybe it's a very viral illness, so you're sick very often. Maybe they're not using the best hand washing. They can transfer that virus to an eating or drinking utensil, and then a person can ingest that. Elsewhere in the state, we have had exposures that have issued big responses from public health, and so we're trying to prevent that. We're hoping to not have those kind of illnesses, and everyone can play a part in that.
Sure, and if you are at a restaurant, what are some of the signs and symptoms you can look for to see if either you or one of your coworkers are affected by Hep A?
This is an illness of the digestive system, so you're going to have things like nausea, upset stomach, and flu-like symptom as well, so fatigue is a big one. I'd also just mention that this is something that's a long-ranging illness, so this is not you feel kind of crummy for an afternoon. You're going to feel bad for a while, and at that point you really need to go seek medical attention. Another thing that people can be on the look for that's an external symptom is jaundice, so that's yellowing of the skin or eyes. At that point, that's really hurting your liver, and so we really want people to think about getting their coworkers to a hospital or encouraging people to seek medical attention.
Sure. So what are some of the main things the general public can do? You might not work in a restaurant, but you probably go eat at a restaurant every once in a while, and there have been 25 cases. What are some main things the public can do to make sure they're safe from this?
Well, the gold standard is vaccination. The hepatitis A vaccine is a 2-series vaccine that is a lifetime of protection. So make sure you know your vaccine status. We can offer vaccine at the health department, and your healthcare providers can as well. The other thing is to always wash your hands before eating and drinking, and then also after some of those activities like using the restroom or changing diapers.
Very good. Let's transition ahead now to the flu season. It's on the way. It might not feel like it because we've had such warm temperatures here in the Ozarks, but fall is on the way, and of course, flu season is around the corner as well. So how are you guys gearing up for that at the health department?
Yeah, it's just around the corner somehow. It is just around the corner. Flu season this year, it'll be really interesting to see how it folds out, because in the last 2 years, we've had very high case counts of flu. So we're watching and paying real close attention to what that flu season looks like. So it's a good time to remember that the CDC's recommendation for vaccination is by the end of October. So before Halloween, you want to make sure that anyone 6 months or older gets their vaccine.
So what are some ways, do you guys offer free flu vaccinations at the health department?
Next week, we'll be announcing those clinic dates for the Springfield Flu Coalition, which is a combination of Cox, Mercy, the Springfield-Greene County Health Department, and also the Greene County Medical Society. That's a long-ranging partnership that has vaccinated hundreds of thousands of people over the years. It's a long-ranging program. Those clinic dates will be announced soon. And also, one of the great things about the current flu season is it's never been easier to get a flu shot. Pharmacies have them, grocery stores have them, so just be on the lookout.
And a lot of workplaces as well. You might just want to check with your employer as well to see if they offer something. If someone's interested in getting a flu shot through either you guys or one of your partners, how can they find out more information when that information is available?
Yeah, so flu shot, or in this case, a hepatitis A shot as well. You can call us at 417-864-1658.
All right, very important information. Catherine Wall from the Springfield-Greene County Health Department, thanks again for coming in. We always enjoy talking with you. We'll be back with more Ozarks Tonight right after this.